Well, welcome back to Lost Horizon as we probably finish it up today. Um, yeah, so let's just hear what the narrator has to say.
A lot has happened since Fenton's adventures in India, and he has a lot to consider. Lord Weston betrayed him to the Nazis in exchange for his son's life. Escorted back to Tibet, Fenton was reunited with Kim. She survived the avalanche without a scratch. Countess von Hagenhild forced Fenton to use the key artifact. He was teleported to Shambala, where he finally found Richard. Richard is, however, 10,000 years in the past, and can only communicate with Fenton as a ghostly phantom. Now they need to work together to defeat the Nazis. Fenton needs the dragon amulet in order to harness the power of Shambala. In ancient times, the amulet was broken into 3 pieces, each hidden in a separate temple. These 3 pieces must be reunited and brought to the very center of Shambala.
So, I think our best bet is probably to start with Richard here. So, wow, it's a lot brighter in his time. Okay, so let's start looking around here.
An overturned offerings bowl. Now just rotting meat and fruit. Ugh. I suppose I ought to check through it, just in case. Just about the only thing here even remotely sanitary is this nut. Looks like some kind of altar, but who knows? The water dripping from the ceiling is beginning to wear it away in the center. I don't think I can move it.
Can we? No, okay. So we're gonna need something for that torch.
There's a torch hanging in the holder.
We'll just take that. I wonder if we're gonna have some kind of interesting stuff, like if we can put something here, so that way it'll be here for Fenton when he needs it.
These discs are in the very center of this temple. These heads were cut directly out of the rock. Their eyes and mouths are closed. I don't see anything much to do with them, other than avoid their gaze.
Do we have the same,
These heads were...
yeah. Well, there's not much else to do here, actually, so, oh, wait. Stone slab.
A stone slab. I should be able to lift this.
You mean push? There we go.
There's a complex system of gears here that looks to be connected to those stone heads. There are 2 metal gears and 1 wooden one. I wonder if I can take the gears out. The wooden one comes away easily enough, but the others are firmly installed.
Okay, he is just really quiet today. Dialogue is maxed out on, and this is the same volume I've had the whole game at. I wish he was a bit louder, but
complex system. I've taken out 1 gear, but this gear may be made of wood, but it seems sturdy enough. A torch. It's a nut. Given where I found it, it's in remarkably good nick.
and we can't interact with anything yet. Pile of shards.
I don't think there's anything else of interest.
Well, let's explore around a little. Oh wow, that's beautiful actually. Let's see here. Mound of soil.
A mound of stones and earth. The soil's rather compacted. I can't just pull it away with my fingernails. The torch isn't tough enough to loosen the soil.
What? Okay, so pillar.
These posts support a chain that's used as a railing for crossing the bridge. This pole's firmly rooted to the spot.
Yeah, okay. So chain?
This chain serves as a handrail. Got it.
Like... Yep.
I'll attach the torch to the chain. I attached the torch to the chain.
I don't know what that gets us, but we've done it apparently.
I've taken the chain, but the posts are still standing.
We'll be back for those posts.
A small stream winding its way through the cave. These rocks seem to have broken off from the ceiling quite recently. They're lying loose. One kick ought to do it. A small stream winding its way through the cave.
Don't quite know how that helps us yet, but I'm sure it does.
A
Stalagmite.
small stalagmite has formed. The water drips onto this spot from above and leaves mineral deposits behind, allowing the stalagmite to slowly grow bigger and bigger. It's too sturdy to break off with bare hands. Water drips down from the ceiling, leaving behind mineral deposits. These deposits build and build, and over hundreds of years a stalactite forms. I can't reach it.
Okay, so he doesn't want to do anything with that at the time being. So let's see. Room or room? Let's go with room.
This is the central hub of Shambala. It's hard to fathom, but these priests are conducting a ceremony that will construct a force field around the world's soul that will still be in place by the time Fenton arrives in around 10,000 years. When I first arrived here, I told them about the Nazi attack on the monastery, and they decided this was the best course of action. Perhaps the dying monk gave me that key because he knew it would send me into the past. The priests needed to know the threat so they could prepare for an emergency like this. That force field protects the source of the morphogenetic fields, the center of all knowledge, from being accessed by those who might misuse it. Only with the dragon amulet can Shambala's power be harnessed. They're the last survivors of Shambala. They've dedicated their lives to protecting this place throughout time.
Okay, where was the other one? Ah, square stone.
It's a cube-shaped stone.
Lovely architecture. Alright, so let's go to the other room. And then we have the path.
So, where to? I'm currently in the northern cave, and the two other temples are in the southwest and the southeast.
Okay, so if that's the case, let's just follow this path before we start going to the other temples. No, it just brings us to the same. Okay, let's go to the lava cave.
It must be 200 degrees in here.
You'd be dead if it was 200 degrees in here, Fahrenheit or Celsius.
Hot lava. Even Fenton wouldn't be stupid enough to throw himself into the pit, even if he was really drunk. That's a statue of the supreme deity of fire. The people who built this place attempted to appease the gods with sacrifices. The statue carries bowls in each hand. This one's empty. Bowls in which sacrifices to the gods are made. That's as the people who built... The statue carries bowls in each hand. This one's empty. Bowls in which sacrifices to the gods are made.
Alright, what else can we do? Symbols.
This is the symbol for life.
So water, maybe?
If I'm not mistaken, this sign symbolizes death. This sign stands for fire or heat. There's a rectangular slot in the middle of this statue. It's empty.
Ah, haha. This makes sense now.
Yes, that works.
And we should have a flaming torch now. Boop.
This symbol, I've learned, means fire or heat. But nothing's happening when I hold up the torch.
I guess we apply that last. Alright, let's in this room. Nothing.
This
so.
is the Temple of Light.
Recess.
No idea what these are for.
I assumed that was supposed to be in it, but... Tub.
An empty stone tub. What could it be for? There's nothing in there.
Icicle.
An icicle.
Okay, and then
No
recess.
idea what these are for. No idea what these are for.
Okay, let's see if we can get the dirt. I think the dirt is death. The ice will melt into water, which will be life. And then, of course, we have heat. I didn't have the gear selected, did I?
The soil's rather...
Yeah. Oh, maybe we can, Really? The icicle?
This is the symbol for light.
Do we have to put it in a bowl?
Looks like some kind of altar, but who knows? The water dripping from the ceiling is beginning to wear it away in the center.
Let's see if we can use...
I'll place the stone directly under the dripping water. I've placed the stone on the pedestal, directly underneath the dripping water. I have a feeling nothing in this place is down to chance.
Okay, so that'll probably do something in Fenton's time then. We can put the gear back in.
Oh well, I'll put the gear back in.
We didn't really find a use for that. So, you know, maybe Fenton can find something to turn it with? So, let's go back to Fenton now. Yep.
This stone's had a hollow carved out of it by the dripping water. I'd say it's been here a while.
Yeah, so it looks like that does determine, like, we could have removed the gears. Okay.
It's seen better days. The dripping water's created an indent over time. It's too heavy to move. Different sized discs with odd markings carved onto them. The pedestal in the middle has similar symbols. Brute force won't move these things. Some sort of stone gear mechanism. The one in the middle's made of wood. Looks like it's had better days. If in doubt, break things. These heads are carved in one piece, right out of the rock. Even after all these years, they're in perfect condition. They must have had some special significance. Old deities, perhaps? Might have looked more distinguished if they'd bothered to close their gobs. Pushing or pulling doesn't achieve much. The mouths are open wide enough for me to get my hand in, but there's nothing inside.
Okay, so basically... Oh, they're closed in this time.
I don't see anything much to do with them, other than avoid their gaze.
Oh.
There's a complex system of...
So we have to possibly crank this somehow to open the mouths, maybe? Or were they just worn away from time? Hard to say. Oh, wait. A lot darker, but the water's flowing now. Mound of soil.
It's a mound of earth. The soil's just too hard to dig. A load of pebbles from the old riverbed. I'll take some with me.
Always use pebbles.
It's a stone column. I think they form when a stalagmite and a stalactite meet in the middle. Just don't ask me which one's which. Impressive though it may be, it's in my way. And we know what happens when things get in my way. It's been here for thousands of years. It's too strong for me to shift.
So we'll have to disrupt that somehow in Richard's time.
The column's blocking my path.
So that keeps us from meeting the Nazis too early, I suppose.
According to Richard, there are 2 more temples besides this one in the north. There should be a piece of the dragon amulet in each one. There's one in the southeast and one in the southwest. And I was complaining about the heat in the desert. This is one of the 3 temples that hold the pieces of the dragon amulet. There don't seem to be that many places it could be hiding. But then, I am a master of underestimating tasks.
Alright.
If I stay here too long, I may begin to melt. Not even if I was really drunk. Well, maybe if I was really, really drunk.
Alright, so we have a bowl.
It's empty. There's nothing inside. This statue forms the center of the temple. Richard said that one of the 3 pieces of the dragon amulet is hidden here. Somewhere. The statue has a bowl in each hand. This one's empty. It's empty. My knowledge of ancient characters leaves a lot to be desired. That said, this one appears to be the mirror image of the symbol on the right. Looks a bit like flaming tongues. Maybe it represents fire. This statue forms the center of the temple. Richard said that one of the 3 pieces of the dragon amulet is hidden here. Somewhere.
So, not a whole lot here for us at the moment.
This place is freezing. Lucky I've gotten pretty accustomed to extreme conditions over the last week. I've got to crack on and find the amulet piece.
So it looks like this mouth got iced over.
There's something frozen inside this ice block. I can see a faint golden shimmer. I'd need a pickaxe to smash through this. Even better, 5 kilos of trinitrotoluene. Frankly though, anything other than my bare hands would be a good start. A recess. I can't see anything inside. A recess in the wall. It's empty.
Okay, so maybe as Richard we can put things in those. Oh.
A stone tub. There's nothing in there. There's a recess in the wall here. There's a bright beam of light shining straight onto it. There's nothing in there.
Ah, so mirrors. Oh, we're gonna have to find mirrors or something and put these in here to shine a light here to keep it warm enough that it doesn't ice over, I bet. I will say, can we, well, we can't even interact with the stream here. I was thinking we could pick up some water, but can't do
It's
that.
a mound of earth.
Alright, so... we've got to disrupt that. That's the stalagmite type from forming. Well, there's a lot of things we need to do. Yeah, so in this time, there's, it's perfectly fine.
No idea what these are for.
I haven't seen anything reflective. Chain. So there's going to be another use for the chain. I think I already tried this.
It's too sturdy to break off with bare hands.
Nope. I don't think there's anything here that I can do at the time. Alright, so we gotta leave that.
I don't think there's an overturned offerings bowl.
Yep, nothing there.
These discs.
We'll take the gear.
I'll take this gear with me.
I want to see if that does anything.
The drive's missing a gear. If in doubt, break things.
Yeah,
This gear may be made of wood, but it
seems sturdy enough. So what do we need something sturdy for? Not for that, it seems.
I've taken the chain, but the posts are still standing. This pole's firmly rooted to the spot.
Can't use that. What the hell are we going to use a nut for? It just toss us into the lava, destroy it. I don't see anything to use the gear on yet. Be nice if we could get these pillars off.
It's loose.
Oh,
I can most likely pull it out.
there we go.
Got it. A solid metal post.
Now we can stir up the soil.
I can definitely use this to loosen the soil. Saving the world is no excuse not to get one's hands dirty. I'll try to shift some of this soil.
Are we going to plant the acorn here? Oh,
The soil's loose. I can pull it away rather easily, though not without dirtying myself a little. Still, it's only mud. There was a stone coffin hidden under the mound of dirt. There's a brightly painted lock on the front. The paint must be how they protect the metal from rust. There's a layer of protective paint on the lock that's chipping away in places, but the lock itself is strong. It won't budge.
alright, let's have a look at this in Fenton's time then.
It's got a thick iron lock. There's no chance of opening it. There's an iron lock on the lid.
Okay, so we're going to remove that in Richard's time, I guess.
A pile of dirt, damp from the humidity in the cavern.
Wet dirt.
The coffin is really rather sturdy. I can't break it open. I can't break open the lock, but perhaps I can burn off some of the paint.
There we go.
I have removed the vast majority of the paint from the lock. In a few thousand years, nature will have taken its course.
Looks like this coffin once had an iron lock on it. It's completely rusted through now. Maybe I can get it open.
Hey!
Got it. The coffin's open. With a bit of effort, I should be able to slide open the lid. I really, really hope grave robbing will be the pinnacle of my less than moral activities. I hate to think how I'd go about besting it.
I was gonna say, we are
The
grave robbing.
body's rotted to the bone. I have the most unsettling desire to take one with me.
Alright, maybe... Daff.
Let's see what happens when I place the bone in this bowl. The bone didn't look that heavy. Maybe I actually did something right.
Alright, what's next? We have dirt.
As this bowl represents life, damp earth isn't a million miles from the goal. I'm not sure we're quite there yet, though.
And...
I'll plant the nut in the earth. Perhaps this will be a sufficient sacrifice for life.
Not gonna last very long there, but now... There we go.
There's a plant growing here.
Now we just need fire, which pebbles are not,
Nothing.
as expected.
Believe it or not, I can't quite reach.
So do we have to leave the chain somewhere? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Is that what our next goal is? Leave the chain somewhere. Oh, where are we going to leave it where it's not going to get all rusted? Let's see here. So we've almost got the one done. Nope. Dude, we can't even look at this thing. The tub?
I'm not sure where this is leading. I'd better not throw all my possessions into the tub. I'm going to follow my gut instinct and keep the chain for the time being.
Okay, so that tells me we still need it for one more thing in this zone.
I've removed them in a few...
Okay,
I've
we heard
removed
that
the paint
already.
on the lock.
Still far shut.
The coffin is really rather...
Alright. Stream.
A small stream winding its way through the cave.
Do we leave the gear in there? Which would be kind of silly, but...
There's nothing in there. I'll just leave the gear here for now. Only time will tell why.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little confused why too, but...
There's a rotten wooden gear lying in the tub. It's completely rotten. not much use to anyone anymore. It must have been exposed to this damp air for years. Looks like it'd fall to pieces if I so much as touched it.
Yeah, so I don't think we want to...
Fine. I'll hold on to the gear.
I don't...
No
It
idea what these are.
Doesn't look good in the original place. It's even worse here. Can we just leave it in here? No. So I think what we have to do is we somehow have to get the lava into that bowl, maybe? And then put that in, I presume we don't just...
This symbol, I've learned, means...
Okay.
If I stay here too long, I may begin to melt.
Don't exactly have a lot in our inventory right now. So. What?
Let's see if feeding these guys gets me anywhere. There's a gear missing.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Was this like a trick the whole time to make you think you need the gear here, but you really don't?
Oh well, I'll put the gear back in.
Alright.
Let's see if feeding these guys gets me anywhere. Ah, yes. I don't think that was supposed to happen. The wooden gear broke apart. It must have rotted over time.
Oh, okay, so we do need the gear.
take this
We've
gear
got
with
to, we've got to make this gear stronger, like petrify the wood or something, so it lasts. Question is, where do we leave it? Out in the coffin, apparently. Can't leave it in the tub. Not as it is, at least. We can't put it in these recesses. It doesn't let us put it here. Huh. Green pillar. Oh. Can't leave it there. Oh, hey, we can do this.
Strictly speaking, one isn't supposed to interfere with these things, but something is telling me to do otherwise. I think I'll just break them off. I hope no one notices.
Okay, so he's going to do both at once. This will at least clear the path for Fenton.
Looks like the Countess and her men have set up camp in the center. There's Kim.
Well, any news?
No, Countess. We could not discover a way out of the caves. But we haven't yet examined every corner.
And Paddock?
No trace.
Okay, forget it. Perhaps the idiot fell over the edge when we arrived here. No matter, we have other concerns to tend to. Prepare the explosives. I'm quite sure a small detonation will be enough to disrupt the force field.
Jawohl, Countess.
A small
I
detonation.
need to shift these ropes, but the Countess is keeping a close eye on me.
You have like 25 frickin' pieces of dynamite or explosives on each
Maps,
pillar.
documents, and a glass bottle. I could definitely reach the table with my leg and give it a kick, but the Countess would notice it immediately.
I need to find the 3 parts of the dragon amulet. Fast. Nazi troops with heavy weapons. They've set up a perimeter.
Oh wow, yeah.
Let's be honest here. When have you ever seen me actually fight anyone?
Crystals, cool.
Large white crystals. Amazing. I'll grab the crystals. Nazi troops with heavy weapons. They've set up a perimeter.
Oh yeah, all 4 platforms. So they have full Overwatch there.
That force field's all that stands between the Countess and power beyond all imagination. The entirety of human knowledge. This force field protects the source of the morphogenetic fields. Apparently, the only way to bypass it is with the dragon amulet.
Or explosives.
That's where Kim's being held. There are only a few soldiers down in the center, but there's an entire battalion stationed around the cavern. I can't just wander down there and take on an entire army.
Why not? So I'm kind of curious if there's... Yeah, there's no crystals here. And in this time period, it's all water down there, but in his, it's lava. I find that interesting. This is so cool, just kind of seeing the difference between the 2 time zones, or time periods. In any case, we can go down to this cave. Oop.
Fits perfectly.
Perfect.
This crystal looks like a good fit. Impressive. The light from this area of the temple is concentrated and redirected.
Excellent. So this puzzle pretty much worked out as I thought it would.
Let's fit this crystal in here. Let's see what happens. Ah, fantastic. The light's melting the ice. One of the pieces of the amulet. Oop. It's the tail piece of the amulet.
So, I don't suppose you can just leave the gear in there and let it freeze over. This time period, they haven't put the amulet in here yet. Okay. So now I think we can take that back to the cave. I imagine this we put the 2 pieces... Oh no, we don't.
That's the tail piece of the dragon amulet. Only by assembling all 3 pieces will I have a chance at stopping the Nazis.
Okay, let's see here. So we're done with that room, I think, other than the tub, which I'm sure has some... Wait.
I'm not sure I'm going to follow.
Keep the chain for now. We can't put the metal post in there.
I'll leave the icicle here.
Ah, that's a big icicle.
Yes, I think that's right. Just don't ask me why.
Okay.
A rotten old gear and a load of ice. To be honest, I doubt I really need any of this stuff. The gear's completely rotten. It's been exposed to this damp air for years, and the ice, well, I haven't got any use for that either.
Ah, there's one last thing we need to do.
I should be able to melt the icicle. Then the tub will be full of water.
And then the gear will soak in the water.
It's frozen solid. I can't... There's a gear frozen into the ice here. It's frozen solid. I can't get a grip to pull it out.
Ah, the chain perhaps now?
Now I know how Fenton must feel all the time, regardless. I'm sure this isn't just a spontaneous urge.
Just like an ice lolly. One good heft on the chain and... Got it.
There we go. Now we can bring... Now we can unfreeze the gear.
Let's see if we can't thaw this thing out. I'd better not leave it down there too long. At 1,000 degrees, the line between thawing and incinerating is pretty fine.
Probably could just leave it in the room for half an hour and be fine.
It worked. The gear's been preserved in perfect condition.
Excellent. Now we can use this.
Okay, let's see if I can rig this thing up. That should work. The chain's long enough. And the stone should hold the lava without melting.
Doubt. And I'm just gonna put this stone...
There it is. A cup full of lava.
Just gonna put a cup full of lava in my back pocket, you know, no biggie.
That's it. The statue's moving. Looks like we're in business. A piece of the amulet. A piece of the dragon amulet. It's a piece of the dragon amulet. That's the centerpiece of the dragon amulet. It's one of 3 pieces Richard says we need. Fits.
Of course it does. Now we can go back to the northern cave, because I believe we have everything we need to solve this one now. Boop.
Almost like it was meant to be.
Alright, now let's feed these guys.
Aha! Feeding stones to these guys makes the discs on the floor move.
Okay, so we gotta put... Let's see here. Oh, it's one of these puzzles. Damn it. Okay. Alright, so this one moves just the inner one, it looks like. Yeah. So probably save that one for last, so that way we can align it wherever. So this one... Yeah, this moves the inner 2, and then this moves the outer 2. Or, sorry, the outer and inner. There we go. Now we just have to move this guy around a few times. And hopefully that's the solution to the puzzle. Is just making the line pointing towards the red on the pillar. Aha!
Something opened up. The pedestal has opened. There's a piece of the amulet inside. The headpiece of the dragon amulet. That's the headpiece of the dragon amulet. Somehow, combined with the other 2 fragments, it's supposed to save the day.
Thanks, Richard.
Hey, look, a dragon. This amulet is supposed to help me drive the Nazis out of Shambala. Somehow, Richard thinks I can use it to shut down the force field protecting the source, the world soul. But how exactly that's supposed to help me defeat the Countess is entirely beyond me. I thought we were supposed to be protecting the power of this place.
Well, let's go fuck up some Nazis, hopefully.
This should be fun. Or terrifying. Hopefully both. Well, that was an anticlimax. What am I doing wrong?
I'm impressed.
Richard, I put the amulet back together. Is something supposed to be happening?
The amulet allows its bearer to breach the force field and to access the heart of Shambala. Use your imagination, Fenton. Think about how the morphogenetic fields work. They are a part of everyone here.
I liked you more when you didn't talk in riddles.
If you control this energy, you control everything it is a part of. Let your thoughts, your feelings take control. Turn your thoughts into action.
But... Richard?
Great. Okay. Thoughts into action. Thoughts into action. Nothing's happening. Christ. Why does this remind me of Professor Hayes' dragon story? I do like dragons.
Lieutenant, control your men. This is all an elaborate illusion. They are in no danger but from themselves.
This is my chance. I've got to get free before they get organized.
Now let's try kicking the table.
That's it. I've pulled some of the glass towards me.
Let's do this thing. I need to focus the amulet on where I want the dragon to attack.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Oh, they're really getting some...
I've got to get free.
They're really getting some mileage out of that cutscene.
I need to cut myself free. Quickly.
There are still 2 Nazi units out there.
I like how they all fall into the lava.
Don't move! It is all just a figment of the imagination! Lieutenant, we end this party trick now. Follow me. We will detonate the explosives. Once we control the heart of Shambala, we will put an end to this spectacle.
Oh, Countess.
Ah, the girl arises. Given up waiting for your boyfriend to save you?
He's not my boyfriend.
Regardless, you must realize one thing. We have arrived in Shambala. Your usefulness no longer protects you. It is time for you to die.
What? Well, I mean... Oh, God. Let's go aggressive.
I'm the one you need to worry about.
Always with the witticisms, you people. Can't you take something seriously just once?
Ooh, that's an interesting option. At this point, she doesn't know Fenton's here, so let's go cautious this time.
Soon it will all be over.
That can be arranged.
I like how our cautious attack wasn't even an attack. Yeah, well that worked.
Kim, are you okay?
I'm alive, I think.
What's with the kung fu? I didn't know you kick ass. Why didn't you pull that out sooner?
There's a lot about me that you don't know.
So I'm beginning to realize. Maybe that's something we can work on.
Ha! You'd like that, wouldn't you, Paddock?
Kim, you know I would.
Richard?
I don't mean to break up the moment, but it's time for me to say goodbye.
What do you mean?
I've made my decision. I'm going to stay here, in the past.
But... why?
I've seen a great many things here that I never would have believed. I think there's a reason I wound up in Shambala. Whatever you want to call it, there's a great power that connects every living being throughout time and space. I don't begin to understand it, but I do know it wants me to help protect it. Humanity is nowhere near ready for a miracle like this. I know that when you return to your time, you will do everything you can to keep this place a secret. Promise me.
Done.
Thank you, Fenton. And thank you for coming after me. I know how much you've been through. I'll never forget it.
You've really thought this through?
Yes, I have. One day you'll understand.
I think understanding is more your bag, but I'll do my best to get my head around it. I'll make sure the governor knows you're safe.
Thank you. I have to go now.
I'm no good at soppy. You know that.
Just look after yourselves, okay?
Take care, Richard.
What on earth just happened? Where did Richard go?
I'm not entirely sure. But I'll try to explain on the way home.
So that's it then? World saved, catastrophe averted? You're not even a little bit interested to understand the great secrets of the universe?
Nah, overrated. I'm more worried about how the hell we get back home.
So you've been halfway around the world just to get here, and you're going home empty-handed?
Am I?
You think you're pretty cool, don't you, Fenton Paddock?
You're saying you don't?
Alright, so, world save, Fenton got the girl. I don't think we really killed the Countess, though. I mean, yeah, we buried her under the crates, but I don't know if there was enough weight in... Well, that rope did break. So maybe there was enough weight to actually kill her, but I feel like that's kind of a loose thread, just leaving her there with the explosives and the detonator around the force field, but we've managed to at least keep the force field up. Fenton got his girl, Richard's safe, and I find it interesting. It's like, oh, I decide to stay in Shambala, but I have a feeling it wasn't really a choice, because I mean I don't know how. Well, one, I don't know how they're gonna get out. But the Nazis did say they didn't thoroughly explore the cave, so there must be an actual way out. I doubt it just teleports you into the center of the Himalayas or something like that. But I mean, it does probably. But they've got to have a passage out for air, if nothing else. The fact that the tree was able to grow, that they were able to breathe continuously. There's got to be a passage out, so I'm not too worried on that. But I feel like Richard didn't have a choice. They may have teleported him through time to the past, but I have my doubts if they could teleport him back to the future, especially after they put that barrier up. But overall, I really like this game. It was fun. I like the story in general. I mean, there's a few holes, but I mean, it's an adventure game. The puzzles were great. I mean, I don't think I had to consult a guide for the entire game. All the puzzles generally made sense. Like, sometimes I may not have wrapped my head around it at the start, but with a little experimentation, it's like, oh, so this happened and this happened, and okay, I see what it is now. So I really like that. Just, being able to figure out the puzzles. And I kind of like the action sequences too. There are a few more of those than in Secret Files. And I did like them. I did find the sequence at the end odd, with the cautious attack, retreat. And I don't know, because it didn't really give you any indication as to what was right or wrong for that. So I don't know if I had just retreated, if Fenton would have mucked about with the Countess, or if I just did cautious attacks, what would have happened. So I don't know if I just guessed the right order, or if we would have just gone in circles until we did what we did. So that, I felt that was a bit of an odd choice. Or maybe, you could have lost that fight and then you'd have to, it would rewind like in Secret Files 2 and make you start over. But, I mean, on the one hand, it was cool to watch. I mean, frickin' Kung Fu versus, I presume, the Countess learned some form of,
Congratulations! The bonus area is now available in the main menu.
Oh, cool. Bonus! Prototype version. Congratulations, you've earned an award for returning the flute to the snake charmer in Marrakesh just as you promised. That kind of honesty and integrity deserves the highest recognition. Your Lost Horizon team. Yes, the one person we returned something to. Play puzzle. Oh, is this? Oh, this must be like a little Easter egg for Secret Files.
This is probably a good.
For Secret Files 3, I think. Maybe? I don't know. Here. Okay, so this is gonna be there. What is this, fucking Titanic? Yep. Yeah, this kind of looks like Max and Nina. That goes there. What are you? You're gonna go like this, you're a corner piece. Okay, that goes there, that goes there. You go there. And you go there. We hope you're looking forward to our next adventure and to reuniting with Nina and Max in Secret Files 3. Okay, so this pretty much confirms that this game was made between Secret Files 2 and 3. Play prototype version. Lost Horizon. If you're interested in how Lost Horizon was developed, you can play the prototype from 2008. This prototype was the first version we presented at the Games Convention, and it served as a demo for our publisher, Deep Silver. Some of the scenes in this prototype aren't finalized, and so sometimes certain characters will appear, particularly in cutscenes, that you might recognize from our earlier games. On the whole, most of the playable scenes in the prototype also found their way into the final version of the game. However, the original start of the story was planned somewhat differently. We hope you enjoy the surprise. Looks like it doesn't work. Import shared code archive readers, CPP 211, March 3rd, 2010. So basically it can't load the intro video. So I guess we won't be playing the prototype. But in any case, I think that that brings Lost Horizon to a conclusion. I really enjoyed all the characters too, and unlike the first and second games where the voice acting could be hit or miss, I greatly enjoyed the voice acting on this too. It really does feel like a movie that takes place in the 1930s, which I think is what they were going for. You know, even the main menu is just a an old theater. So I think next week we'll start with Lost Horizon 2, and then once that's done, we'll finish our our animation arts games with a game about the Kursk. But until then, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and we'll see you then.